Reading early today because so much is happening. As we were doing these readings live last week, a lot of the stuff we were predicting was actually happening. On December 4th, last Thursday, the Trump administration issued a national security statement basically basically putting a fork in NATO's ass. It said, eh, I'm paraphrasing. I wish it said this, but sorry, why don't you going by? Um, the Basically it said that uh, the ass clowns running Europe are on their own, and they can have the keys to their own damn clown car because that's not in our best interest, and they're too unstable with too shitty of a future for us to bother with, which is pretty obvious to anybody that's been watching this shit show of what's going on in Europe. And yeah, they can have the keys to the clown car and drive it over the cliff without us in on board. So good. That's brilliant. The statement was actually written in November, and I look back at the date, and that's right around the time that the European leadership began to act completely unhinged, just whacked. I mean, all of a sudden, it reminds me of so much of stories I heard about, the rumors that I've read about Hitler in the final days of the bunker as the Russians were descending on Berlin. He was busy running around in the bunker looking for more of that cocaine stuff, I mean, Jesus. That's like Macron putting a hit out on Candace Owens because she said his uh, uh, um, his wife has a something resembling the new Chinese currency, which is called the unit. By the way, yes. So I seriously, the world's collapsing around these fools' ears, and their starmers arresting people because they like memes. They put likes on memes that he didn't approve of on Facebook, for God's sakes. He's arresting like 70-year-olds. Um, yes. So the clown car is careening over the cliff, and the grown-ups have left the room. The clowns have complete control at this moment in time. So let's see what the cards have to say about that. Uh, so what's going to happen to Europe when yeah, and near as I can tell, Mertz is trying to sell Porsche, the one the one unit in Volkswagen Group. It's not making money, but it's not losing money. It's about breaking even. So he's going to sell that to the Chinese. Seriously, you can't make this shit up. I seriously, the material writes itself, and you know this is huge because I it's early today, so you're gonna have to deal with me slurping coffee. It's really friggin' hot. Mm. Alrighty, let's see what the cards have to say about the European clown car careening over a cliff. Because it's not if it careens over a cliff. This was really happening. Uh, um, the document that Trump released, I looked at it and it's pretty startling. Um, there's not there's I think it was written kind of in ways that are less productive than it could have been. The gist of it I agree with, but I think it's worded in ways that are kind of designed to stir not good emotions in people. So, you know, this is a good thing that's happening, but let's keep an eye on the people behind it because there's a lot of potential for disaster in here too. All right, tell us about the clown car of European leadership going over the cliff. Not if it's going over a cliff. Just say, are they going? Is it going to be like epic carnage? Are they? Are they going to somehow like jump out and like Wile E. Coyote just land with a big thud and get up and chase the Roadrunner again? Uh, it's just, probably nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. It's a cartoon from when I was a very small child. Um, Alrighty, tell us about. Ooh, upside down. I usually. Well, there you go. The signifier is basically this card could be called "What the fuck." that's that's where. So I'm going to say the signifier is the EU in Europe, and that's the collective that's being discussed, and the Eight of Cups is basically the "What the fuck" card, which is, I guess, pretty fitting, huh? And the overall situation is the King of Cups. I hate to say this because I don't like saying good things about politicians, especially really divisive ones that are that put a lot of effort into division and making people argue with each other. But in a way, this kind of could be what Trump is doing because his rhetoric is just crazy, off the charts. It's just as crazy as this shit coming out of Europe. But somebody in his administration seems to have somebody's best interest in mind. Not necessarily the EU's best interest, but the best interest of the American people, which, I mean, we kind of, we're used to the United States citizens, we're kind of used to being run like a subsidiary of Israel, where Netanyahu kind of cracks the whip and the chimpanzees in the fucking Congress he's like the organ grinder and they just start dancing. But pretty sure this is not what what's his name, Netanyahu would want either. So, Trump might go kiss that wall and all that shit, but something is happening that is not usual. And this is not going well for the banking cabal. The overall situation. Well, yeah, I mean, if we're talking, or I mean, the gateway, the poverty. Yeah, this is going to be rough for Europe, but there was no way around it. I mean, the United States just doesn't. We're bankrupt too. We can't afford to pay our own goddamn credit card bills, which is basically what the national debt is. We're paying like 100. Oh, sorry, that's a VHF radio. We're our interest payments are 120% of our gross domestic product. Hopefully they'll go to a different channel. Let's go up one or down one. Is what they'll say. Because I don't like to turn it off for emergencies. All right, the root card is. This one's been coming up over and over again, and this is usually a romantic kind of a personal relationship card, but it's also the completion of something of passion. So, I don't know what the hell any politician is doing. I mean, it's easy to figure out people like Macron. They're pretty easy to see through. But the difference between what Trump says and what Trump does is so dramatic. Yeah, you guys are hearing a live conversation between a marina and a boat coming in. But there seems to be, maybe this is maybe somebody in the Trump administration really wanted to decouple from this ass clown parade that is the EU. And well, we've done it. It's done. It happened. I mean, NATO. You know what NATO is right now with the U.S. backing out of it. It's I don't know. It's a few Frenchmen and maybe a half dozen well-trained Brits, and I mean, it's just it's a organization that collects I don't know, tokens or something like a what do you call it, a one of those magic card game or board games or something. I don't know. Maybe maybe they go and play Risk. I, I, so here's the present moment, and that's temperance, and that is finding our balance. So maybe maybe somebody really cared and got something accomplished here that's meaningful. Which I'll be damned. It's not something you see often from government people. Usually, I mean, what you see are like the DMV. If you're from the U.S., the DMV it's something that could have been designed by the EU leadership. Let's put it that way. And this I like this. This is the psychological future, and this is like joy from the past. Maybe we can. We're not going to go back because we were never in some kind of Leave It to Beaver fantasy world. I mean, shit was always fucked up. But there were some good things that would be nice to get back, like freedom, like sovereignty, personal sovereignty. I mean, you could do shit once upon a time. You could go places, pitch a tent and camp out. I mean, uh, it's like that Leonard Skinner song. I can hear the concrete is slowly creeping. It's all I can do is write about it. I can hear the concrete is slowly creeping. Lord, take me in mind before that comes. Well, the concrete's been creeping now for about 50 years. So since that song was written. Um, so here's the future. Look at that. I think even the Europeans are going to get through this, and they're going to have. They got to go through poverty to get there. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be kind of awful because they got no energy because they dismantled their fucking nuclear power plants and were dependent on the Nord Stream pipeline for natural gas, and then that got blown up by probably some letter agency or probably Mossad, who knows. And here's our fears. We fear owning our personal sovereignty. That's strength. That's owning our personal sovereignty. And the Europeans really maybe fear that because they do seem to like Big Brother. George Orwell said that in 1948. They asked him why he named his book 1984. He said, I just took and changed the numbers around in this year because we're living in this shit. And that was a while ago. Oh, and the astrological energies are creation. This is I think, gonna turn out all right. It's gonna be a chaotic shift, and it's not gonna end well for the ass clowns in the clown car. I guarantee you that. They're gonna be just lucky to avoid Bastille Day too, and well, that would make for some hellaciously entertaining YouTube videos. I think we're better off avoiding it, to be honest with you. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve an honorable death. They don't deserve to be allowed to commit seppuku, whatever you call it. Pardon my Japanese. But they just deserve to be dragged through the streets and peed on or something. Well, maybe they might get that. Our desires are the Queen of Wands. Our desires. That's us wanting to. Us primarily the Europeans, but let's say we're all in this shit together. We can take care of each other, and I'm in love with a European woman. Like she's the love of my life. Some of you even know her, Victoria, and the. I'm a big fan. I loved Europe. I wanted to live in Europe for a while till I just saw it kind of disintegrating. And the final outcome is the hermit. That's really interesting. This is, we're going to have to all go inside ourselves and find our own, our personal sovereignty, the stuff we're afraid of. You know, I've said this before, I apologize, but Joseph Campbell said the cave that holds our greatest treasure is the cave we fear the most. And the cave we fear the most is our own power, our own strength. And we need to go inside and find that, and we will. And I think it's going to turn out well. This modifies the fears, which is strength. So that means there's opportunities in this that we just need to see them when they're in front of our eyes. We need to not see what we think we see, not see what we're told we're supposed to see what's actually right there in front of our goddamn eyes, you know? And this is how this is venturing into the unknown. This is how we get to the Empress. This modifies the astrological energies. We've got tremendous energy to create right now, and we have to maybe venture out into that dark cave Joseph Campbell talked about. And this modifies our desires, which is sort of a compassionate decisiveness, Queen of Swords. And this is waking up from a nightmare. So maybe if we own our personal sovereignty and kind of take charge ourselves, control of our own, our master of our own domain. Seinfeld masturbation joke there, but like even getting that means you're old these days. And here this modifies the final outcome, which fits perfectly with the Hermit card, which is going inside of ourselves. And this is taking time to reflect. This is like meditation. So so here's basically what this boils down to is we don't know what the fuck. It's just chaos, and think that's pretty clear to anybody looking with their eyes and not their thoughts. But there is an overall situation where there's a King of Cups. This is a mature, active exercise of power, which might actually be happening. And this is the gateway card. This is how we get to this future, which the future's pretty good, but we have to go through some hard times. Like we've been talking about the death of currency for about a week here, and it's for real. We're looking at the death of the entire system of market-based economics. I mean, we may have to rethink everything. The tokenization of exchange of goods. I mean, it's big things are coming, and this all the stuff we've been talking about, revaluing gold, starting a new asset-backed currency to kind of run parallel to the BRICS unit of currency, which is not referring to what I said earlier, the sophomoric reference to genitalia. No, it's so all these things are going to make this possible. So it's going to be chaos, though. I mean, this is a big shift. It's like a birth. A birth is I mean, I grew up on a farm. I used to help with the calves and the sheep when they were born because we had little arms. We could, fit in places to rearrange things, so heads came out first instead of butts and stuff like that. It's a messy process, and it's very painful. I'm not speaking from experience because I've got a Y chromosome, pretty sure of that, But we're going to get through it. We're finding the peace within ourselves. We're finding the balance. We're finding our own center. And we've got the power to create right now. We're getting tremendous power from outside sources. And we're getting it. We just have to have the courage to venture out into the unknown, even though there's no way we can see what we're going into, because this is such a dramatic change that there are no parallels. You can't people compare this to like ancient Rome. Well, we got something going on a little bit different. Right now, I'm broadcasting to three people. Thank you, all three. I love you. Uh, uh, but I'm doing this from a boat, a sailboat, in a what you'd call a developing country, off an island, off a developing country, and I'm drinking coffee made with water I made from seawater using solar power and Starlink, Elon Musk's internet, to broadcast to you live. And at the end of the day, this might be seen by 100 people, which it's, like I said, this is a small channel. um, it might be bigger, but I honestly have strong evidence that my settings are keep switching from public to private. But the point is, Rome collapsed multiple times over the course of about 300 years before it was finally a fork in its ass and turned over. Um, that's not happening right now because we have this instant transmission of information around the world, sometimes to millions of people. I think our highest video was like 9,000 views back when I had my better half on board. Um, and we're the but that's a small channel. I mean, there's people being seen by 6, 7, 8 million people instantly without going through the filter of the elite. The elite have set this filter on everything. The internet, even social media, for all its problems, is the first truly democratic form of communications in history. So when Macron acts like an ass clown, when Starmer tells the British people that they have to be prepared to sacrifice their children to go die in the Ukraine against Russia so that the Russians don't come and, I don't know, take over Westminster Abbey or some goddamn thing. Um, we see, in the past that would be filtered and not sound crazy, but now we see it instantly in real time as those fucking ass clowns are up there yammering in the moment. We're watching them without any filter at all, and because of that, everything's happening so quickly. I mean, when I started doing the research that led to a lot of this was when the Federal Reserve issued this paper about revaluing gold, like Bretton Woods thing, like a Roosevelt New Deal shit, in like the first week of August of this year. This stuff that we're talking about right now, it seemed like it would never happen. It seemed like, oh, maybe in 10 or 20 years this will come to pass. It's freaking December 7th or 8th, December 8th today. And everything that we predicted has happened and more back in like August, the first week of August. It's that's why the comparisons to ancient Rome are just wishful. It's hopium. It's the ass clowns that are desperate to retain power that are now careening over a cliff in their clown car, trying to distract us from the reality of this moment where we all know what's happening instantaneously. This is huge. On December 4th, last Thursday, Trump issued this paper dissolving NATO and basically telling the Europeans that I'm getting out of this car. You can either let yourselves out of your car seats and learn to drive the goddamn thing like a grown up, or else you can go careening over a cliff. And now they're careening over a cliff. And this has happened in a matter of a month. In less than a month, this has all happened. The scientific term for what's going on is bifurcation. That's when the rate of everything speeds up exponentially, like going from a steel hat, like a iron, the first iron hatchet to the first steel hatchet took like 1,500 years. But then the next big development took like from the steel hatchet to the chainsaw It took like 100 years. Or no, it took, well, anyway, it went for, so it went for 1,500 years, like 750. We got a much better, more clever axe. And then another, or, whatever. The rate of change halves until it reaches a speed where it's just beyond comprehension. We're in that state right now with information. We're in a, it's impossible for the ass clowns in the clown car to retain control of the narrative because they're exposing themselves as they think, and they don't have time to have smarter people polish it up, the turd of their policy and make it into something that people will swallow. It's like they crap out a turd and we see a turd, and they're losing control of the narrative. So but it's going to work out for us. This one I like a lot. This is a joyful memory, joy from the past. This is like returning to a more natural world where we have like real food and real love, and people actually have sex instead of watching donkey porn on frickin' on Pornhub or something. It's we're returning to a real world, and it's going to be very rewarding. We're gonna feel complete. We're gonna have our connection to our communities and our families back in real love, and it's gonna give us time to think, time to reflect, time to find our true selves, our centers, and that's what. And this is modifying that. So yeah, this is. Yeah, we've my studio setup is less than stable here on the water. Yeah, we've got some rough stuff to go through, no doubt about it. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, buckle up. Try to get out. The less money you can cabal, the better, because they're going to come after you for everything when the shit gets real. And the shit just got real. I mean, shit's been real for a while, but it got so real on Thursday that nobody can deny it anymore. Anybody that does, just gently slap them across the face until they kind of open their eyes and see what's right in front of the face. Love you all. Have a good week. It's Monday, which normally I wouldn't really notice, but it is Monday. That means they're having at the nice little floating bar over there. They have it's not on the menu, but they have a very cool Cajun paella there. And I have to decide. I got to save money, and I got some food thawing out that I need to eat. But I think I'll skip the paella today and wait till Victoria comes to visit me. Love you all. Have a good week. Goodbye.